This story is set 200 years ago, in the 19th century. It begins in a village called Pennsylvania. Although the village is prosperous in every way, no one ever leaves it. The village is surrounded by tall walls, and there's a watchtower where guards keep constant watch. The village is located deep inside a forest, so its people have no contact with the outside world. Those who live here forever. They never go out. There is no use of money here. Everyone respects one another. People can marry whoever they want, but there's one rule: no one can hold hands before marriage. The elderly people of the village are called elders. One elder's son dies due to illness, as there are no proper medical facilities in the village. The next morning, while everyone is eating together, strange sounds start coming from the forest, scaring everyone. There's a boy named Noah, who is mentally unstable, but instead of being scared, he starts laughing. No one teases or mocks him because the people of this village love and support each other deeply. The next morning, the villagers find a dead animal. The elders gather to discuss who might have killed it. A young man named Lucius asks permission to leave the village so he can bring medical supplies from other towns. He says, "If we had medical facilities, we could have saved our people." But the elders refuse. They say there are evil creatures in the surrounding woods who once attacked the village. Years ago, the elders made a pact with those creatures. No one from the village will ever leave, and in return, the creatures won't harm them. The elders themselves are the only ones who have seen those creatures. Although the younger generation hasn't seen them, they often hear strange sounds and find claw marks near the woods, so they believe the creatures exist. Lucius, however, is fearless and still wants to go outside, but is denied permission. In the same village lives a blind girl named Ivy. Despite her blindness, her other senses are very sharp. She goes to Lucius with Noah and says, "I know why you never hold my hand. It's because you love me." And indeed, Lucius loves her deeply. One day, Lucius notices that Noah is holding a red fruit that only grows in the forest. Red color is forbidden in the village. No red clothes, flowers, or fruits are allowed. Whenever something red is found, it is buried immediately. Lucius realizes that Noah must have gone into the forest, yet the creatures didn't harm him. Lucius goes back to the elders and says, "Noah brought this red fruit from the forest. That means he went outside, and the creatures didn't hurt him. I'm not afraid either. Please allow me to bring medical help." But the elders refuse again. Determined, Lucius decides to leave secretly. The next morning, he crosses the boundary, but soon sees a shadow, one of the creatures. He runs back inside. That night, a guard on the watchtower sees a shadow beneath him. It's one of the creatures. Terrified, he rings the village bell loudly. The sound spreads panic. Every house has a hidden basement where villagers hide whenever there's danger. Ivy, however, is still outside waiting for Lucius. Lucius rushes to her and takes her to safety. The villagers hide all night as they hear terrifying sounds. In the morning, they find red markings on every door, a warning that the pact with the creatures has been broken. The elders call an emergency meeting. Lucius admits he went beyond the boundary and saw one of them. The villagers forgive him, knowing his intentions were good, but warn him never to go outside again. Later, Ivy's sister gets married, and the village celebrates. But after the wedding, people find dead animals hanging outside their doors. Fear returns. Lucius goes to comfort Ivy, and they decide to marry soon. When Noah learns about this, he becomes furious, as he's loved Ivy since childhood. In jealousy, he stabs Lucius, leaving him gravely wounded. With no doctors or medicine, his chances of survival are slim. Noah is locked in the quiet room, a punishment cell used for misbehavior. When Ivy learns what happened, she's heartbroken. Her father, Edward, one of the elders, wants to go into the forest himself, but his wife stops him, reminding him of the vow they all made never to leave. Ivy then decides she'll go instead. She's determined to cross the forest and bring medicine to save Lucius. Her father supports her decision and goes against the other elders, giving her permission. Before she leaves, Edward takes Ivy to a secret room and reveals the village's biggest truth. He tells her, "There are no real creatures. The monsters you've heard about are actually us, the elders, wearing costumes. We created these stories to keep everyone from leaving." Ivy, now fearless, begins her journey with two other young men. The men are terrified by the sounds in the forest and soon turn back, but Ivy continues alone. Edward had also told her that the strange forest noises are made by devices hidden in trees that create sound when the wind blows. Back in the village, the elders are angry at Edward for sending his daughter out. They fear that their secret will be exposed. But Edward insists, "I trust Ivy. She knows the truth." In the forest, Ivy falls into a deep pit but manages to climb out. Suddenly, she hears movement, breaking sticks, thrown stones. She realizes something is following her. A creature appears and chases her. Using her sharp senses, Ivy avoids it and tricks it into falling into the same pit, killing it. Meanwhile, the elders discover that Noah has escaped the quiet room. Inside, they find an old costume and animal hides, the same ones used for the creature disguise. They realize Noah had discovered their secret and was the one killing animals. The monster that chased Ivy was actually Noah, who is now dead. Ivy continues her journey and finally reaches a tall wall. She climbs over it and sees a modern road. A police officer stops his car, shocked to see her. Here, the truth is revealed. It isn't the 19th century, but the 21st. The land beyond the wall is a protected wildlife reserve called an animal sanctuary, where no one is allowed, and even planes don't fly over it. That's why the villagers never realized they were living in a completely isolated, old-fashioned world. Edward and the other elders had built this village decades ago. In 1972, when Edward was a professor, he counseled people who had suffered great personal losses due to crime and violence. Together, they decided to create a peaceful place away from the modern world. Using Edward's family fortune, they bought this land, built the walls, and bribed authorities to keep planes and people away. In the end, Ivy brings medicine back to the village and saves Lucius. She tells everyone she killed a creature in the forest, which renews their fear, ensuring the elders' secret remains hidden forever. The villagers continue living as if it's still the 19th century, unaware of the modern world beyond the walls. And that's how the story, and the movie, ends. Which movie should I explain next? Tell me in the comments below. I always read your amazing responses.